Hello everyone, this is your boy, Billiam Maranci, and time for another Mashup album review. This Mashup album review is from Bean. It is the second self-titled record from Bean. We already reviewed Bean's first album, so why not review the second? A couple updates before we continue with our regularly scheduled programming. This will be the last review that looks like this. I am doing away with this computer in terms of like video recording. This is going to be the last video where you have this little blue snowball right here, where you have this crappy MacBook, this is going to be the last of its kind. So say goodbye everyone to this format. Where you don't get to see the outside. You are all trapped in solitary confinement in the basement with me. Let's go track by track and discuss this Bean album. Track 1 is called Preview, and it is an epic intro. Talking heads and Soulja Boy vocals occasionally get drowned out by the Infinity War trailer music, which is the instrumental, but rhythmically this is a great intro. The stretched Soulja Boy vocal samples are a pretty good touch too. Track 2 is the Offspring. Offspring vocals are mixed pretty well, occasionally being drowned out by the instrumental, and mostly work melodically. Rhythmically, this mashup is another knockout. Wannabe vocals are in the wrong key though, and are mixed a little bit too quietly. And Crazy Train is an A major, and Wannabe alternates between B major and B minor, so that can be kind of like a melodic clash that you might not want. Track 3 is Friendship Ends. Clever title, as the Wannabe vocals of the last song say Friendship Never Ends, and it transitions into a mashup with the theme from Friends, the TV show, and Linkin Park's In the End. Clever. Some of the Linkin Park vocals are offbeat at the beginning and are in the wrong key. The Linkin Park song is in F sharp major / D sharp minor, and the Friends theme is in A major / Mixolydian. Mixolydian means like a scale that has the 7th degree of the scale lowered by a half step. So it's like an A major scale with a G natural in it. There is a bit of a clash there, and I don't know if like you want to keep that, but it is a little bit difficult to listen to. Jaded Dancer. It does not feature the Green Day song Jaded. Instead, it's Brain Stew. Elton John's Tiny Dancer is the vocal, and sadly the vocals are not in the right key. Brain Stew is in G sharp minor, and Tiny Dancer is in C major. So basically, if you lowered Tiny Dancer by a half step, like just one pitch interval down, it would actually work perfectly. The sentence mixing where Elton John says Tiny Dancer in my ass at the end was funny though, and the sentence mixing across this album is pretty much on point. You've Got a King in Me. This is an interesting mashup between You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman from Toy Story, and it's mashed up with Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold. The Avenged Sevenfold vocals sometimes work in a bluesy sort of way over the instrumental. The Avenged Sevenfold song is in E flat minor, and the Randy Newman song is in E flat major. When a minor vocal is on top of a major instrumental, it creates kind of an interesting effect where it kind of sounds like blues, but some notes may need to be adjusted to fit the harmony. Next is the track Released. We're on track 6. There are 22 tracks on this album. Starts off epically with the intro to Sweet Victory from SpongeBob and the vocal from Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. Just for the first 15 seconds, it sounds cool. And then it transitions into a mashup between Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley and Kool and the Gang's Celebration. Those two songs actually work together. Melodically, rhythmically, no complaints. There's also samples of the Beatles' Come Together thrown in there, and an off-key note from Free Fallin'. Rihanna's S&M is added over the Rick Astley instrumental, and it doesn't work the whole time, but it works part of the time, melodically. Also, The Box by Roddy Ricch makes an appearance on this song, and it was on the last album, so It's cool that Roddy Ricch came by to lay down some more vocals. It also appeared on the one before, and rhythmically there are some issues with the Rihanna track at points, but most of the rhythms are fine. Most of the rhythmic content on this album is perfectly fine and sounds great. Be Like. The instrumental is Danny Californian by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Over it, there are vocals from a Gatorade commercial with Michael Jordan that work pretty well, and Three Doors Down vocals too that also work well. The Be Like track kind of has like this conceptual tie-in with Michael Jordan. The Gatorade commercial works pretty well. The Three Doors Down vocals work well, but when they're played at the same time, they get a little bit distracting from each other. And to continue the theme of Space Jam, the Space Jam theme vocals are in there too, but they aren't really in the right key, sadly. It ends with Michael Jordan saying, "Stop it, get some help," which made for a funny ending though. 7 Beatle Army. The Get Some Help at the end of the last mashup transitions into a mashup between Help by the Beatles, clever, and 7 Nation Army by the White Stripes. The acapella sounds somewhat low quality, but it works over the instrumental. It does leave a little bit of space during the chorus of Help, but overall it's a solid mashup, and it ends with saying "Kiss the Queen," which was funny, and it transitions into My Message, track 9, where there's a song called Dancing Queen by ABBA, that is the instrumental. Kiss the Queen, Dancing Queen, nice. It's a mashup between Dancing Queen by ABBA and The Message by Grandmaster Flash. This is by far my favorite mashup on the album. The vocals are occasionally a tad too loud and too soft at other points, but rhythmically this works super well. The sentence mixing about like laughing while people are stabbed is also really funny.
Who doesn't enjoy a good stabbing?
Track 10 is Creeper. It's a mashup between Stall by C418 from Minecraft with POD's Boom and Revenge by Captain Sparkles thrown on top. Captain Sparkles at the beginning. There's a lot of references to Minecraft and some Minecraft sound effects in there with a Minecraft explosion at the end. It's another great mashup and continues the streak since 7 Beatle Army of mashups that I think are great. Then we get to Mr. Smash Man. It's a mashup between Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes and All-Star. The All-Star vocals aren't even in the right key. But that said, even if they were in the same key for this mashup, I still would have laughed a lot just to the mashup and had like a kind of an allergic but funny reaction to it. Track 12 is Epstein, a mashup between I Wish by Stevie Wonder and Jump Around by House of Pain and Jump On It by Sir Mix-a-Lot. If the vocals over the I Wish instrumental were louder, this mashup would be perfect, and the subject matter is pretty dark, but pretty funny. Because Epstein did get jumped. Track 13, Imagine There's No Rainbow. This is a mashup between Imagine by John Lennon and Rainbow in the Dark by Dio. The Dio vocals work melodically, but there's kind of a funny comedic stretched quality to the vocals, and if it was intentional, that's all good. I mean, melodically, this is a winning combo, and it's really funny. Vocals are a little stretched, and they're stretched kind of awkwardly, but it works as a funny mashup. It is a functional mashup. Track 14 is All For You, which is a mashup between Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers and I Want It All by Queen. The Can't Stop vocals aren't exactly in the same key as the Queen song. Rhythmically, the Queen song is off at the beginning. The section where it speeds up is executed well rhythmically, but it's sadly still not in the right key. Definitely look up what keys both of those songs are in. I know Can't Stop is in E minor and I Want It All is in B minor. So definitely try to fit those two songs together if you can, if you want to redo it. Jackson Cash. This is a mashup between Hurt by Johnny Cash and ABC by the Jackson 5. It's another really funny combo, and the mixing is pretty solid, but both songs are in different keys, sadly. And this is a recurring issue with some of the album where there are some songs that key-wise are not compatible, and there are mashups where everything is fine, except maybe there's a key or something that doesn't really work with another key. Jitterlump is an example of this, which is the next mashup. It's between Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham! and Lump by the Presidents of the United States of America. The Lump vocals rhythmically are fine, but the vocals are a half step too high and mixed a tad too loud. If they were pitched down a half step and the mixing issues were fixed, this mashup would be perfect. Track 17 is Noises, which is a mega mashup with like kind of this epic feel. Probably like the sad part of the movie that we're watching, or like the like maybe like the scene where the main characters break up or something. And it's a mashup between Wolves by Kanye West, Megalovania by Toby Fox, All Star by Smash Mouth, Centuries by Fall Out Boy, Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, and Earth Song by Michael Jackson, and Mbop by Hanson. I'm starting to notice some recurring issues with these mashups. The concept is wonderful, and the Carl Douglas vocals actually sound super epic. All of this sounds super epic, and the mixing and the rhythmic content is totally fine, but none of the songs are compatible melodically, and if they were tweaked to fit melodically, this would be a perfect mashup. Sleigh Roll is a mashup between Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes, or at least their version of Sleigh Ride, and Rollin' by Limp Bizkit. I think it's the Urban Assault Vehicle remix of Limp Bizkit's Rollin', because you can't get the original acapella of Rollin' anywhere. I've looked, and I'm really pissed that I can't find it. And the Limp Bizkit vocals on this mashup are a tad too quiet, but rhythmically are fine. The times where Fred Durst is singing melodically don't really work with the Sleigh Ride instrumental, but everything else is pretty much fine when he's just rapping and doing his thing. It's a funny mashup. I mostly enjoy it. Track 19 is Christmas Cocaine, which is a mashup between Christmas Canon by Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Super Freak by Rick James. The Rick James vocals are too quiet and are out of key. The title is super clever though, and continues the Christmas theme on the cover of the album from the last track. We got 2 Christmas mashups in a row! Track 20 is I Did It All. It's a mashup between YMCA by the Village People, Uncomfortable by Hailstorm. Conceptually, this and all the other mashups on this album are genius and are sequenced super well. Rhythmically, the Hailstorm song mostly works, but is a half step off from the YMCA instrumental, and the vocals are mixed well, but are a tad loud at certain points. But there is one major thing that I love about this mashup, and that is that you use the vocals from Don't Bring Me Down at certain points, and not the drums, because Neil Cicerega, his impact is so huge that everyone just uses the drums from Don't Bring Me Down like he did on the closer from Mouth Moods, but I'm glad someone is using the vocals, because we gotta be original somehow in this mashup world. Track 21, Owl World, is what it's called. It's a mashup between Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong and Fireflies by Owl City. The mixing is decent, and this is another great idea. And the vocals are too loud at points, but most of the time, the mixing is fine. I just wish the Fireflies vocals were pitched to fit the instrumental, and I wish the vocals swung and fit the instrumental rhythmically a little bit more. But it's a great idea. And then we come to the closer, Pretty Fly for a Finale. Finale by Hans Zimmer. I forget what movie that's from. Pretty Fly for a White Guy by The Offspring. Wannabe by the Spice Girls. Bodies by Drowning Pool. All Star by Smash Mouth. 1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies. And Chop Suey by System of a Down. And Apache Rose Peacock by Red Hot Chili Peppers. It works as a closer, and it works as like the end of a movie, and rhythmically everything's on point. All of the sung vocals are out of key, but there's still an epic and cluttered vibe to this mashup. Overall, this album is rhythmically more on point than its predecessor, and the mixing is considerably better. If the vocals and instrumentals were in the same key the whole time, this album would be incredible. Every mashup conceptually is S tier, but the melodic execution leaves a little bit to be desired. There are databases online that can show you what songs are in which keys, and if you're unsure what key a song is in, definitely look it up and mess around with the vocals. But Bean, you have so much potential. Keep doing what you're doing and stay creative. And thank you for including the samples this time. That was super helpful for me. There were a few songs that I wouldn't have known if it weren't for you letting me know where these songs came from. Thank you all for watching. I am your host, William Maranci, and please check out my album that's coming out on January 1st. Be there at the YouTube premiere at midnight Eastern Standard Time, and thank you all for watching.